Happy Sunday afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Today, like it says in the comments, I'm going to be working on the Welcome to Utah chapter page. Every chapter of this story, he's a man on a journey from east to west. Every chapter of the story is a different state sign that they're crossing. And I always try and do something funny with it. I've been thinking about what I might do with it, but we'll see. But this is the last page we did, page 32. So on to the next. I was debating on whether or not I would do 2 pages. Let's get that right. But I'm just gonna do a 1 page. Sometimes I'll do double. I don't think it's necessary for this one. Maybe later I'll change my mind. I can always add another page later. Alright, so here's my reference I'm using. Let's get started. Now again, these are roughs, so that later on I can make them nicer, but I'm just getting a rough idea of what the page will look like. Kind of bringing you all along on the process of making a comic, and just kind of seeing what goes into it. If you hear noises, my son Grayson, who will be 5 on Friday of this coming week, he's having a good old time in the next room, so you might hear him. Now you see what I did there? I made that gigantic, and now there's not room for the rest. So here's one way you can avoid that, which I should have done in the first place, because it makes it more even. You draw out what you're gonna want for the basic layout, and then do some light lines. For spacing. And even then, that's too small, so that spacing needs to be different. This is why you do roughs, and drawing is a big process. There's a lot you need to do to make sure things are looking right. But it's fun if you just are loose with it and don't get frustrated and erase and start again, and just, this is the part in the process where things don't need to be perfect. And I'm really full right now. I just had Papa Murphy's sweet Thai chili pizza. Oh, so good. Some of my favorites. See, we're just getting rough shapes here. Nothing too solid. I was trying to think of something funny for the catchphrase for this state, because it's almost always, there's a little copyright or something on it, so I don't use the actual thing, but I kind of make fun of each state a little bit. So we'll see what I can come up with. Okay, now can come in there and it's gonna fit because we already made it fit. Everybody having a good weekend? I am. Played a whole lot of the new Destiny 2 expansion that just came. Well, not DLC, whatever. New season. And it's been super fun. I really enjoyed it. Got to do a raid last night. I just enjoy that type of stuff. I used to really get into Halo. That's kind of the shooter that got me into, well, I guess GoldenEye, but that's the shooter that I really got into. I wanted to be really good at the original Halo. I remember going over to my friend's house every Sunday, and him and his brother and me would just fight each other in the game. It was super fun. And then we got into LAN parties, and now you just play online with people. LAN parties are somewhat a thing of the past. I mean, it makes sense. It is kind of sad because it was a super fun way to get together with your friends and do something, but now you don't really need to do that to play with people. You can play with people all over. Most people I play with aren't, I think almost all of them aren't from here. From Ohio and Maine and Florida and California and Arizona. So, just cool how technology has changed things. Couldn't do a LAN party like that. There's no cords long enough. Yeah, these letters aren't, I mean, they're not perfect, but whatever. I'm just trying to get roughs in here, get an idea. So, like the snow cap type thing back here, which is probably the same mountains that are on the Utah Jazz symbol. So if you follow my stream and you're interested in my books, several comics and then one novel that I've written, and really proud of those. I think they all have unique stories behind them, and I don't follow some formula and everything's the same. I really try and vary my storytelling and not just have the same feel, the same look throughout everything. Even this Man and Bot story is very, very different from anything I've written before. I think that's a healthy thing to do as a creative, is to challenge yourself. If you find what works and you just keep doing what works, you will eventually burn out from that. And I don't know, I feel like you lose something when you just do what people like instead of what you enjoy. Trying to decide if I want to do more of this. Alright, I think it's fine for now. Had a cough lately. Allergies are bad because it's allergy season. Indiana is not good for that type of weather. I think I'm gonna add my own little something here. I'm not sure what. Just gonna write clouds, because after, when I do my brush pens, this will all be watercolor and everything will be watercolor, so I don't want to waste my time drawing clouds when I'm just gonna watercolor them in later. Sometimes you just capitalize on the time that you're allotted and don't do stuff like that, because you're gonna change it later anyway. And I actually could do the same with the bushes, but I kind of want to establish that they're there instead of writing bushes, and then I'll watercolor it in later. I'm not gonna go to the trouble of drawing all these little stickers, because I think that that's cool, but that's a very specific sign. I'm not looking to really do that. I don't want a specific location necessarily, more of a broad Utah. So now catchphrase. We got salt water and big rocks. So that's all I know about Utah. Never been there. But I know they have salt lakes and mountains, so that's what they get. Okay, so maybe we'll have random bot kind of walking this way because we need to make the reader want to turn the page. So we want them to be going that direction. That's kind of why you can see there's a slight slant here, but I went more slanted because I want it to go that way. So yeah, we'll do that now. Don't need this reference anymore. Now I can pull up my Twitch and see if chat is going on, and right now it's not, which is fine. If you're just here to watch, cool. That'll allow me to be able to see chat. And then I'll turn my volume off. There we go. All right. Now, one trick that I've found, and I did some designs, I should show you those if you don't remember. I did some really random designs, some simple things, but part of the reason that I made some of these designs so simple is because I don't claim to be the best artist. More of a storyteller. Actually, my job full-time is storytelling. So I know about story structure and layout and what makes the story compelling and all these different things. But art is not my strong point. I'm challenging myself by doing this comic. Like even right there, that's not quite right. But all that to say, that shouldn't stop me from trying just because I'm not great at something, because it's uniquely my style. It's simple. There's certain solutions to difficult images that I've come up with. Like for me, drawing a human torso can be challenging at times. So how do you cover that? With hair. You cover it with hair. So there's all kinds of things that you can do with your characters to simplify so you can tell the story you want to tell. And I would say most artists, especially really good ones, will tell you that story should drive the art, not fancy art drive the story. And you will get much better products out of that mentality because people enjoy stories. Yes, you can look at beautiful art But that art needs to tell a story. Even in famous paintings, you're wondering, you know, why isn't Mona Lisa smiling? Why is the one guy screaming in the painting? Why are the clocks melting? What's going on there? And it makes you think about what the picture is actually doing. See, now here is where this little guy comes in handy. And is that the right exact angle? Nope. I'm not worried about that right now. It's gonna be kind of rounded out. So I'm kind of excited. I have not seen the Pixar movie Luca yet, but we don't have Disney Plus or want to spend money on it, so it happened to be on Redbox, and I did $1 off Blu-rays, so we got it for $1 to watch today with Grayson. That'll be fun. If you've seen it, what are your thoughts? Feel free to comment. I'm kind of curious. People liked Luca or not. I could use a ruler on that, but it doesn't matter that much. Now, one thing I did notice, so we need to have these be more somewhat in flat ground. Yeah, might as well. See, now it looks more like too perfect. Alright, and the mannequin hand. Sticking out of here. And this might be a little intense for my style of art. Next. Like a baseball bat. And then like this tarp over top of it. And then this idea that he grabbed yet another trailer type thing. Just dragging it behind now. And he's sitting in it. Maybe excuse me. Okay, we got salt water and big rocks. What else do I want to put in this image? You watched Luca 3 or 4 times over vacation? That's good. Well, hopefully I like it as much as your niece and nephew did. That's really cool. I was kind of curious about, like, I have a feeling I know what the story's about, just because, you know, you see one trailer, you can kind of guess a little bit, but sometimes Pixar surprises you. The main one I'm thinking of is I was surprised by what is it? The one about the guy who's into jazz. He's a teacher, and I think it was called Soul. But I was surprised by that. I had an idea of what it was about, but the way they approached it was really cool. I think it'd just do a really good job telling the story in a way that even adults can be surprised and just have a pleasant experience. I think that's kind of key to enjoying a movie with, at least for me, with my kids. If it's super predictable and the pacing's off and the storytelling isn't quite up to par, it doesn't matter if the animation's amazing. I'm tuned out. I think as we, or at least as I tell stories, that's one of my goals is, okay, as I draw a page, is it engaging the audience? Is it telling the story, or am I drawing the page because I think it looks cool, or it's funny? If those are the main reasons I'm drawing the page or making the page or scripting, whatever, I'm not driving the story forward, and therefore it's kind of a failure of a page and it needs to be deleted or not used. So that's always something I'm looking at. I was not expecting to go so fast on that page. So that was page 33. What we're gonna do, well, first, let's see if we can fix this face here. Yikes. It's not right. Obviously not right. I've tried a few times to fix it and had a lot of trouble with it. So one of the things you can do that's kind of helpful if you're stuck is go back to your basic shapes. And I'm not saying this is a guarantee. I might still struggle with it and need to come back to it with more references. But this can be a good way to just approach in general. Okay, the body shape, which is bent awkwardly anyways, and like his chest is almost concave here. That's not correct. It's tough, and this is why people go to school for art, and why I usually pay an artist to do my comics, all my other comics. I have 3 comics that are out right now. All 3 of them are just, I pay the artist. They're done by other people. And so I want to make sure that it's good, that it's doing the story I wrote justice. And if it's not, then I need to look at paying an artist to do it justice. And this story, the way I've kind of designed overall the characters, they're very simplistic, very easy to understand, and there's only 2 of them for the most part, except for the dad here. The dad of this character, he shows up a few times whenever man sleeps. So if he's looking, the nose would not be sticking out like that. So another thing I can do with this head to help me, just make it a circle to start. And then I had a chin structure. See, once I did that, I noticed this is tilted too far down. He's going to be lifting his head to look, not bending it down. So he's going to be more along this line here. And the neck's slightly too long. Man. If you don't succeed, just try a bunch of times until the page is almost illegible. I guess that's my method for today. Okay, so if his face is here, like so, then that line helps me establish his face. Look at that. You're starting to look like a person again. Now, I'm not traditionally trained in art, or actually, I'm not even traditionally trained in storytelling. So my job, I got into what I do now. This is not my job. This is something that I do more on the side and just enjoy doing. But the job I got into it because, this is kind of backwards, but because I write the comics I write and the stories I write. And they thought that was really cool, and so they had me write my own job description, and so now kind of do journalism in a way. But I study story all the time. I actually teach and train people on storytelling and structure, and have a lot of fun doing it. So much fun. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get right now. His back needs to flatten out. And then his tummy can go more straight. It's a little better. Not perfect, but again, these are roughs, so eventually we're going to go back in. We're going to take Man and Bot. They're going to be digital. We're going to have watercolor behind. That's all really important. But now I'm going to go to my script, pull it up. You won't be able to see it because I don't want you to see it. I want some mystery to what the story actually is. That's why I drew several pages before I started streaming, besides the fact that I wasn't sure if I wanted to stream. But the more I thought about it and the more I decided, the more I leaned towards, I want to share what I'm doing with people along the way so that you can see the effort it takes to make something, but also the struggle that it can be, because sometimes I would just announce a book and be like, hey, this is out, and people had no idea. Like, it took 2 years to write, and not I'm talking about my novel. As far as writing, scripts don't take that long for a comic, but they do take a lot of time to understand and think about positioning of pictures and panels and where they are and what's going on in the reader's mind. Okay, so it says page 29, and that was 33, so we've added some pages. Not sticking directly to the script, I'm not worried about that. Man is laying in a larger trailer attached onto Bot. Is laying in it asleep. We did that right. I was just kind of guessing at what I wrote. It's been a while since I visited the script. And then Man and Bot are talking. So 4 panels. No, 2 panels. Do I want to do side by side? See, this is where the hard decisions come. So I have a 2-panel page. There's a conversation back and then forth between Man and Bot, and then back and then forth on the next panel. And I have to decide, do I want split landscape? Do I want split horizontal? Do I want some offset thing with some design in there? What do I want? And it all depends on what they're talking about. Man, this is upbeat. I want to chill more. So my prime directive is to provide you, and that's a lot of talking. Okay. Based on what I'm seeing, I think I need to, yeah, it needs to be landscape. This will be a funny page. We'll at least get it started. I don't know if in 20 minutes I can finish it, but we'll at least get it started. The name Matchstick Comics came from my artist for Burdens of Draco and I were trying to think of a name of something that would have basically give the idea that it has potential to light a fire, figuratively, of course. So our goal was how can we create a name, create a logo, which if you notice in the logo, let's see, where's my hand? Whoa, down here, that it's a matchstick box, a matchstick cover. So the idea was just we wanted to ignite a fire in people. We wanted to have our goal be about creativity, about inspiring, that people would be excited, entertained, all the things you normally would do with a comic, but also that they would be maybe inspired by our story and how we present different things to go and create themselves. So I actually often go to elementary schools, art classes, high schools, youth groups, and speak and encourage youth and younger kids to create and hopefully inspire them to follow their passions, and tell a little bit about my story, because here in Indiana, where I am, there aren't a whole lot of comic artists that I know, and so I end up just kind of had to figure it out myself and do my own thing and hope for the best. I'm gonna get real basic here, but I wanted to encourage them, even if you don't know anybody that does the thing you want to do, that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Took a lot of hard work, and I had no idea how to script. I didn't know what a script even looked like, because there's so many different ways, and even Marvel and DC, they do it differently. So yeah, that's a long story of where the name came from. It's about potential for lighting a fire. Good question. Don't like those feet. Yeah, so I'm not traditionally trained in art or anything. I actually just did art in high school, and I've always drawn. I filled up several sketchbooks over the years, but I'm sure proportions and all that are probably not the greatest, but my main goal is just to tell the story. If people don't like the art style, that's okay. I'm just gonna start with this like funny mustache and then work my way out. Just makes me laugh. So, bot here. How much is he saying? A lot. See, when you get enough simple type shapes together for the character design, now I can draw them a lot faster than I normally would have before. I guess I get faster as I go, but okay. So his dialogue's first. See, I've created a problem, so in order to fix that, I need to have bubble be up here, and then bot's bubble, which is more angular, be there. That should work, I think. Do you want to go to the Grand Canyon? Too much space. Of course, this will be digital as well. I'm not going to use my handwriting, it's too messy and gross. I don't like it that much. The prime directive is to provide for you. Okay. And keep you from danger. Yuck. I hate that. It's trying to be sporadic. I just don't like the way it looks. I always have his text boxes look similar to the shape of his body, that angle. I try and do that here every time, and so that's the main reason I didn't like the way that looked. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Probably go back and change it later. Gotta leave room for that. Do not have opinions on our future location. Okay, so maybe we could do some Something like that. Alright, and then yeah. Just trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. I think I know now. Something like that. And then why not? Let's have it go off the panel. I do that quite often with this hair. I think it's funny. It emphasizes the fact that his beard is crazy. So now this is against your normal rules of pointing away, leading the reader to the opposite direction, but it's for comedic relief. I'm breaking the rule on purpose because he's pointing the wrong way, so now the robot's going to say it's the other way, which I think is kind of funny. Yeah, this will be fun to do digitally. This part. The characters, and kind of practiced a little bit with it, but digital's slightly foreign to me compared to traditional, so I might struggle a bit, but that's okay. I think the contrast is really unique. I tried to look up and find any comics that had watercolor backgrounds mixed with digital, like really digital characters, not like just digitally drawn. You can do watercolors in digital, but I'm doing traditional, scanning it in, and then doing the characters digitally inside of that. And that's to emphasize part of the story about him going with bot, searching for people through technology, and it's not working. And so they'll be drawn with technology while everything else around them is normal, traditional. The contrast is on purpose, and sometimes you can, if you think about your mediums that way, what you're using, you can kind of get away with that. See, and now the direction I'm using for where bot's looking is pointing our reader back where they need to be. Coming to an end on our stream. I am looking forward to seeing Luca. Thank you for letting me know that you all liked it. I'm excited I love Pixar stuff, so I have high expectations. I think rightfully so. They've earned themselves a name and that expectation. A lot of funky music coming up today. Ooh. It's just got a, I don't know, like Back to the Future-ish feel. Or not Back to the Future, like just old 80s movie. Back to the Future had more like, I don't know, it had all kinds of stuff, but it didn't have a lot of future-y music now that I think about it. Okay, and he's saying, nope, can't start that high. It's hidden. Should start down here. All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining me. If you're curious about Matchstick Comics, any of my books, or when I'll be streaming next, I'll be streaming next Tuesday night at 8, and we'll be covering whatever the next page is. It looks like page 40. They're at the Grand Canyon, so we'll be drawing that. And yeah, you can find me at matchstickcomics.com for my website, and then at Matchstick Comics on Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitch. I think that's it. Twitter. But, thank you for joining me. Have a good rest of your weekend, and enjoy a nice sunny day. If it's sunny where you are, it is here. So I'm hoping to go on a walk. Bye.